Hi there, my name is Katrina Ayers with Positive Teaching Strategies, and I help teachers to stop spending all their time on discipline issues. And today I would like to teach you my #1 secret for eliminating asking students over and over to do what you'd like them to do. Well, let me share with you the 3 steps to eliminating all those repeated requests and warnings, where you get to ask your students to do something one time and then they do it 80 to 90% of the time. Wouldn't that be nice? So step 1 is you are going to teach ahead of time exactly what you want the students to do in whatever situation. So if you have a certain kind of a lesson, say a reading lesson, you're going to be teaching the students exactly how you want them to sit, exactly how much talking is allowed, what they need to do to get help, what kind of materials they're going to be using and how they treat those materials, so that they don't have to misbehave to find out exactly where the limits are and what you want. So that's step 1. Step 2 is that when you find that the students are getting off track, or they're doing something that's distracting, or maybe something that you didn't think to teach them in your lesson, then you are going to give them a really specific request, something that is unambiguous, so that the student will know exactly whether or not they've done it, and so will you. For instance, you might say something like, "I need you to stop talking." Or you might say something like, "Please turn to page 27 in your book." You're not going to say something like, "Cut that out, stop it." And it's really important when you're giving this request that you take the emotion out of it. It's business. It's business-like. You're not acting all excited or emotional or upset, because once you start getting into that emotional zone, your students start feeding off of that emotion. And frankly, it's kind of fun. It's dramatic to see what you're going to be doing next. Then what you need to do is give them about 30 seconds to a minute to process that request. Could be they didn't even know they were doing the behavior. So you let them process that request for about 30 seconds. And then if they still choose to continue doing the behavior, at that point, you're not going to give them another warning. You're not going to have them flip a card. What's the most effective way to do it is to give a consequence right away the first time. So what could the consequence be? Let's say that one of my students is talking and I ask him to stop talking. I'm not going to come back to him and say again to stop talking. Instead, maybe I would move him to another place in the room, or I might ask him to make up some time during recess, or I might have him go to a buddy room to refocus. So if you do those 3 steps, teach ahead of time, do a clear prompt, and also if you do a consequence the first time, I think you're going to have a lot better results and find that you're spending less and less time on warning students over and over again, and you're finding that the students are doing what you ask them more of the time. I would just love to teach you a little bit more about all of these things, so please go on over to positiveteachingstrategies.com and click on the button to get yourself access to learn more about these programs. Thank you so much, and I'll see you over at positiveteachingstrategies.com.